and I use a program called InShot. It's available for iOS and for Android. The other thing I'll mention is getting your video as close to how you want it before you start editing it is going to make your life a lot easier. Things I would point your attention to is having good lighting to begin with, either natural or I use an LED most of the time, actually, that I got for painting a while back. But having your light set up and also shooting in whatever aspect ratio you want to use. If you shoot basically like a YouTube video and then zoom down, uh, it's gonna be you're gonna have a really small area on screen. But anyway, if you saw my like KCC2 video, you can see how that looks. Where basically you're zooming in on like a landscape film video, and it gets really claustrophobic if you're really close to your hands, at least in my opinion, but that's up to you. So, the first thing you do with InShot is you want to select your clips. So I just hit new, and then it'll separate your photos or your videos. So let's say I wanted to grab a KCC thumbnail, and then I wanted to go and grab a video like that. It's going to stick them on this timeline thing. If you click and hold, you'll get your two different clips, and then it will put it back. As you notice here, there's this little white square. This will allow you to pick a transition, which, here you can see how that works. Anyway, so the first thing I do, because I use either a voiceover or music in all of my reels, is I'll go down to there's a sound option, and then I'll set the native volume to 0, and I'll hit the double check mark, which will apply it to everything, and then it'll get rid of my sound. And as you notice, because we're doing sort of a short style video, my Instagram photo here is really I don't know, has these bars on these blur bars on either side. If you want to zoom in as opposed to having the blur bars, you can scroll all the way to the whatever that is, the left, and there's this canvas button, and that will allow you to also set whatever size you want the export video to be, but it'll also let you zoom in and out, which can be nice. I use that a lot if I filmed and there's just sort of like junk on the sides, but that's pretty helpful. And let me see, other tools of note here that are useful. Text will allow you to type in stuff, obviously. You can put it on screen, you can edit it, you can do some like fades in and fades out. Stickers are very similar to text, where you can go in and get your watermarks and put them places and do stuff like that. And then when you render the video, all the stuff will be there for you. And when you go back into there, pretty much all the stickers and text and all that, like, you get these drag bars, so you can decide how long or short you want them to be on screen. Let's see what else is useful. Speed is important for me usually because I'm trying to get under a minute, so by default, it'll be whatever speed you recorded it as, but you can speed it up or slow it down. Yeah, and the more you do that, the faster it'll go. And I use that to basically get everything under a minute, which is the maximum duration for reels. And then you see my video is reverse, so I can go into rotate to put this right side up. And I'm thinking if there's anything else I should mention. There's a whole bunch of editing tools in here that are worth playing around with. There's good videos on YouTube, but I basically use speed up, volume. I use the split and delete a lot to basically make multiple clips. What I've noticed is a lot of the time on screen is boring. So, like, say I'm not doing anything here, I can basically split that clip out and then hit delete. There's also a duplicate, which will duplicate your video footage if you want to basically add, if you want to have multiple clips that are the same. There's a freeze option, which is, I don't think that's a premium option, but like that'll allow you to like freeze the picture at the end, which I'll sometimes do if I want the end of the reel to just sort of show the finished card. You can, I can think if there's anything else. I think those are most of the ones I use. There's a lot of color corrections, but I usually use the stickers, the text, the music. I don't think I showed here, but if you go into music, you can either, the record will let you do a voiceover, like similar to kind of Lynn's tag series. Like you can basically just record a narration over the video. Or I tend to like music. You can upload your own music, and that will go into, that'll either go into like My Music. Oops, here we go. Like here's some I downloaded from YouTube. And you can favorite things, so it's easier to find them. But InShot has its own whole audio library as well. So you could just click on something and then pick one of these tracks and decide to use it. So I use music a lot, or voiceover, and text to explain things. But those are probably the ones I use the most. And I use this to edit reels a lot. This seems like it takes a long time, but like once you get used to it, it's really not too bad. And I've found that it's been a really great way to edit reels, and I use it to edit my YouTube videos as well. And I think it's like $10 a year. It's a pretty inexpensive piece of software to use. So it's been one that's helped me a lot.